Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Today's fly, it's a combination of two flies really. As the Midge Pupa start in the spring, they start obviously from winter bloodworms, and then they develop into a buzzer. So this fly incorporates two obviously major food sources. One is the bloodworm, and then the buzzer type, which is a very good pattern in the spring, is a wicked white. So this actually takes both into account. It's like a buzzer body with a wrap with the wicked white cheek, so it covers both options. You can do it in all different sizes as well. You can do it weighted, unweighted, depending on what you're fishing depth wise and everything. So we'll get on and tie it. So the hook I'm going to use for the demonstration today is a size 10 barbless blob hook. Now it's obviously quite heavy in the gauge, but I want it that way, obviously to get the weight, because this hasn't got a bead on or anything. So we'll start off and just put a basic tying thread. It's black UTC 70. Now the bloodworm part of this is blood red flexi floss. So we take a strand of that, don't need loads of it, so we'll put a bit on the front. Now we'll check, because this is often curved, but we want it to be curved up anyway, so we don't need lots of it out the front. It's not going to be a big amount of worm sticking out the front, so we'll tie it onto here, and then what we'll do, we'll make sure we're really tight in the vise, and then we'll pull it, stretch it down to reduce the bulk. So we'll taper it down. Now we're going to put other things in here, so I want to go probably just past the bend, and then we'll come back up. So at the moment we can always trim these later if need be, but we'll cut it about there. So that's the base of our fly. So now we're going to tie in. We've got some fine silver wire, so we'll take a bit of that and we'll tie that in, starting where the thorax is going to be on my side. So I'll just tie that in there. Now the other part of the body is going to be another small bit of flexi floss, and we'll tie that in again where the thorax is going to start. Tie that in on my side, and we'll tie it down. That'll go along with the wire as it goes along. We'll want to reduce that as well, so we're going to pull that tight just to reduce the bulk. We're going to tie back in as we come back up, so it's no problem. And we'll take that towards the tail bit. That's it, and now we can wind back up. What we can do now is we can cut this, pull it tight and cut that off. So what we're going to use for the underbody is this bright red tinsel. It's an old bit I've got here. It's Spartan is the make. I've had it for a long time, but it's very bright, so it looks lovely. Looks lovely along the body. So we'll tie this in. So again, I'll start where the thorax is going to be and just work my way down to the back end of the fly, and then back up again. Now I'm just going to turn this slightly because it's a bad angle for me to see, and then I'm going to start at the very back of the fly and just rib this up. Touching turns are slightly overlapping, it makes no difference as long as it covers the black. You're taking this up to where the thorax will be. So that'll do it. Snip that off. Now we're gonna take our flexi floss, and I'm gonna, at the back end, I'm gonna pull it tight and then go around fairly tight at the bottom and then start to ease off as you come up the body, just to give you that little bit of rib. Doesn't have to be massive, it just gives it a bit of variation. Tie that off. Snip tight. What I'm going to do, just going to put one security or two security wick finishes in there. Now what I'm going to do with the wire is go round and then in between where I've ribbed it up. Just to give it more illusion of a rib. We'll take it up here, over the top. Then we'll just wiggle that off. That's it. Now what we're going to use for the cheeks on the Wicked White buzzer, I use these. They're 0.6mm. They're called cheeks. They're from Fritz and Flies originally, but Fly Tying Den now they sell them. So they're ideal. What they are is vinyl, white vinyl, and you pull them off, and they come off in little strips like this, sticky on one side, and obviously not on the other. When you're tying them in, you tie them in a bit like goose biots. So you can tie them in, trim the front end if you want, but there's no need. Tie them in like a goose biot. So you tie them on, but you tie it so it's sticky side facing outwards, because you fold it back over. So you do that on both sides. So we'll turn the vise just to see what we're doing. Tie it in like that, and then what I do is angle it down towards the back where your thorax is going to be, and then you can tie it in. You can make your thorax as big or small as you want to make the shape. Now what I like to do, just for a bit of flash on the top of the head, is put a bit of medium Mirage opal tinsel on the top. So I'll cut a small amount of that, tie it in before we put our cheeks over the sides. So we'll tie this in, making sure we get it right on the top, but when we fold it back, double check, get over the top of it and have a look. That's it. Now what we can do is pull that over, take it back, pull that over, catch it in, and snip it off. Just pull this up a little bit. Want this to be, when we're finished it, to be pointing slightly up. So, like so. So now what we can do, we can take our cheeks, pull one over, take the other one, see where you're at, make sure you're happy. That's it. Oh, come off, but no problem, it's going to come off anyway. And we'll snap this one off as well. Tie it down. Check that we're happy. And then finish off the head. Now what we're going to do now is make sure that that's sticking up slightly. That's where I want it. About there. It's ideal. Snip it off. And then you can either varnish that or you can use UV glue, UV resin. Get the shape you want. Tiny little fibre sticking out there, we'll drop that off. A little bit more on the top. Make the thorax a little bit bigger. Happy with that? And then we'll take the light, harden it off. There you go. There's your Bloodworm stroke wicked white Bloodworm buzzer. If you like it, please tick the like. Check out my other flies on YouTube, and please subscribe. Tie them up. Have fun. Thank you. Cheers.